On March 16, 2009, Liam Neeson's phone rang in Toronto. It was Natasha, and the last thing she ever said to him was a lie. "Oh darling, I have taken a tumble in the snow." A tumble. That is how she described it. She was dying, and she did not want to worry him. By the time Liam reached the hospital, she was already gone. Brain dead. Machines keeping her body alive. And then the doctors handed him a decision no husband should ever have to make. But here is what almost no one knows about that hospital room. Years earlier, long before anyone was sick, Liam and Natasha had made each other a promise. A promise he never thought he would actually have to keep. Now the machines were beeping. The doctor was waiting. And Liam had to decide whether to break his word or let his wife go. Before you can understand that decision, you need to understand who he lost. Because this was not just any woman. This was the woman who made Liam Neeson, one of the most intimidating actors alive, feel like he did not deserve her. Natasha Richardson was acting royalty. Her mother was Vanessa Redgrave. Her grandfather was Sir Michael Redgrave. 4 generations of the most respected theatrical family in Britain. When Liam fell for her, he was not just falling for a woman. He was stepping into a dynasty. They met in 1993 on a Broadway stage. She was still married to someone else. He had just ended a long relationship. Neither of them was looking for love. But the chemistry was impossible to ignore. The Los Angeles Times reviewed their performance and called it a revelation. They were not just acting. They were falling in love in front of an audience every single night. But here is how you know this was different from every other Hollywood romance. The turning point came when Liam was in Poland filming Schindler's List. Thousands of miles from home. Surrounded by death and history and darkness every single day. Natasha's 30th birthday arrived while they were apart. He sent her a card and signed it, "Lots of love, Oscar," the name of the character he was playing. When Natasha got the card, she wondered if it sounded too formal, too distant. She mentioned it to someone. And when Liam heard that, something clicked. He said later, "That was when I knew I really loved this person. Not when she looked beautiful on stage. Not when the reviews came in. When she was worried that lots of love was not enough. That was when he knew." And that kind of love, he understood, does not come twice. They married in July 1994. A private ceremony in upstate New York. Steven Spielberg was there. Emma Thompson was there. It was intimate. It was beautiful. But the moment nobody expected came at the reception. 4 months behind Liam's back, Natasha had been taking secret singing lessons. She told no one. Not her mother. Not her sister. Just a voice coach, working on one song over and over again. When the reception began, she grabbed the microphone and sang Van Morrison's Crazy Love, just to him. Liam did not know she could sing like that. He did not know she had been preparing for months. All he knew was that this woman had done something beautiful just to make him happy. Remember that moment. Remember that song. Because in 15 years, Liam Neeson is going to be standing in a hospital room, keeping a promise he never thought he would have to keep. And that woman singing to him at their wedding is the last version of her he will ever have. For 15 years, they built a life together. 2 sons, Michael, born in 1995, and Daniel, born in 1996. Natasha won a Tony Award for Cabaret. When her name was announced, Liam was in the audience. According to people who were there, he was not just proud. He was in tears. His own career was exploding. Schindler's List, Michael Collins, Star Wars. He was becoming one of the most respected actors of his generation. And every night, he came home to her. He said in an interview years later that he would come home after a long day on set, dinner would be ready, the kids would be bathed, the house would be calm, and he would look at her and think, "I do not deserve this. I do not deserve her." He admitted that he always knew what he had. Every single day. And that makes what happened next even harder to watch. March 16, 2009.
Mont-Tremblant Resort, Québec.
Natasha was taking a beginner ski lesson on the bunny slope, the gentlest run on the mountain. There was nothing difficult about what she was doing. And then she fell. She did not hit a tree. She did not collide with anyone. She just lost her balance and fell backward onto hard-packed snow.
No helmet.
Ski patrol arrived within minutes and offered to take her to the medical center. She declined. She felt fine. A little shaken maybe, but fine. She signed a waiver and walked back to her hotel room. Meanwhile, Liam was in Toronto filming a movie. His phone rang. Her voice was calm. "Oh, darling, I have taken a tumble in the snow." That is how she described it. She did not want him to worry. 2 hours later, she complained of a severe headache. Then she collapsed. By the time Liam boarded a plane, she had been rushed to hospital in Montreal. He landed and went straight there. A doctor took him aside and showed him an X-ray. Epidural hematoma. The fall had caused bleeding between her skull and her brain. By the time anyone realized how serious it was, there was nothing left to do. A wife who did not want to worry her husband. A fall that seemed like nothing. And now this. Liam walked into her room. She was on life support. The machines were keeping her body alive. But she was already gone. And now comes the part almost no one knows about that hospital room. Years earlier, long before anyone was sick, they had made each other a promise. If one of them ever ended up like this, brain dead, no hope of recovery, the other would let them go. No prolonging the inevitable.
No heroics.
It is the kind of promise you make hoping you will never have to keep it. The kind that sounds abstract until the person you love is lying in front of you, and the machines are beeping, and the doctor is waiting for your answer. Liam looked at his wife. He told her he loved her. And then he said those 7 words. "Sweetie, you are not coming back from this." She was 45 years old. They had been married for 15 years. And just like that, it was over. The only gift he could give her was what she had already asked for. 3 of Natasha's organs were donated. Her heart, her kidneys, her liver. 3 people are alive today because of the decision Liam Neeson made in that room. When asked about it later, he said it was terrific, and that she would have been very pleased. Even in his worst moment, he was still thinking about what she would have wanted. He kept his promise. He let her go. And then he spent the next 17 years proving that some promises do not end at the moment you make them. 5 years after Natasha died, Liam sat down with Anderson Cooper for 60 minutes. For the first time, he described what grief actually felt like. "It was never real," he said. "It still kind of isn't." He described grief like a wave. A profound feeling of instability. You feel like a 3-legged table. The earth is not stable anymore. For years, he would hear the door open in their New York apartment. He would hear her keys drop on the table. Her voice calling out hello, like she always did when she came home. And then he would remember. She was not coming through that door. Not ever again. So Liam did what a lot of people do when they are drowning. He ran. He told Esquire in 2011, "I survived by running away some." And run he did. Taken 2, Taken 3, Non-Stop, The Grey, one action film after another, playing men with nothing left to lose. There is something almost painful about watching those films now, knowing what was happening in his real life. A man who had just lost everything, playing characters who had lost everything too, processing his grief one fight scene at a time. But the work was not enough to fill the hole. Even now, 17 years later, he visits her grave. It is 1.5 miles from his home. He goes often. He talks to her still. Not because he has to. Because he wants to. The grief has not disappeared. It has just become something he carries. Some days heavier than others. But he has never tried to put it down. And he has never wanted to. Then in 2024, Liam filmed a crime comedy called The Naked Gun alongside Pamela Anderson. The chemistry between them was obvious. Rumors started almost immediately. By 2025, those rumors had grown into something more. According to sources, Liam introduced Pamela to friends as someone he cared about deeply. They spent a week together at his home in upstate New York. And then, nothing. In December 2025, Pamela told People magazine the truth. "I adore Liam, but we are better as friends." They had their week. And then they went their separate ways. A few months earlier, someone had asked Liam directly whether he was interested in dating again. His answer was just 3 words. "No." In a word, "I am past all that." And the proof that this love was something permanent came not just from him, but from his own son. After Natasha died, Liam raised Michael and Daniel with the help of her mother, Vanessa Redgrave. His former mother-in-law became family in a way that rarely happens after a loss like this. In 2024, Liam and Vanessa even co-starred in a film together. They had dinner in Rome. The family stayed together, not out of obligation, but out of love. But the choice that tells you the most about this family came from Michael. He was born Michael Neeson. As an adult, he made a decision. He dropped his father's surname and took his mother's instead. He is now Michael Richardson. He did it to honor her memory, to carry her name forward, to make sure that even though she was gone, some part of her would live on. That is what Natasha Richardson left behind. A husband who still visits her grave. A son who carries her name. A family that stayed together because she was the center of it. Some people wonder why Liam never moved on. Why he never remarried. Why at 73 he is still alone. But maybe that is the wrong question entirely. When he said, "I am past all that," he was not being sad. He was not being dramatic. He was being honest. He knew what he had. Every single day, he knew it. And he never married again because there was nothing left to find. Remember that woman from the beginning? The one who took secret singing lessons for months just to surprise him at their wedding. The one who called from a hospital bed and called it a tumble because she did not want him to worry. The one who made him promise to let her go if the worst ever happened. He kept that promise. And then he kept living in a way that honored everything she was. Some men never love again because they are afraid. Liam Neeson never loved again because he already found it.